On our own, pigs just live up to about 10 to 15 years when they're totally in their wild state. Do you know that in the conditions of the slaughterhouses, that pigs live in a stench of ammonia that is suffocating and nauseating and causes just to collapse? How would you feel if you had to deal with ammonia constantly in your airflow, breathing it in continuously? Do you think that that's a human condition? You know that pigs are also fed dead animals, and then you're eating the pig? What's that say? Pigs are beat on their noses and zapped electrically on their anuses to be gotten onto the trucks that take them to the slaughterhouses. Now, do you consider that fair or humane or loving or kind? 1,000 pigs die alone just from being transported each year. Just from transport. You know, in the winter, did you also know that the pigs also get frozen to the sides of the trucks and they have to be cut off? And they're alive during this process? 1,100 pigs are slaughtered every hour. You know, pigs, when they're on the trucks, they're driving through the cold wind and the cold conditions, and so many of them freeze in the winter, and a lot of them in the summertime, they die of heat exhaustion. Can you see? Can you feel? Can you empathize what it is like for us? Burgers, steaks, filet mignon, hot dog. Those are not my names. I'm a sacred cow. Angus. That's a little bit close, but you know, it's also kind of sad too at the same time. You know, in the summertime and 90-degree weather, cows are transported for 1,500 miles. And they're not fed, not given water, pressed very close together in their transportation. And in the winter, cows are transported in freezing conditions and frozen to the sides of the trucks to be pried off. You know, they drive about 50-60 miles per hour in the winter during those freezing conditions, and that's definitely inhumane. And just from transportation alone, the cows are just like urinating and defecating all over the truck, and the truck is like driving in the cold weather, and then the urine freezes and the defecation freezes, and the cows and their hooves are frozen in their own defecation. Do you even care? Cows are also shot in the head as soon as they get off of the truck and into the slaughterhouses to be stunned so they can not feel the slaughter. And oftentimes the cows are still unstunned and are very, very conscious while they get their necks slit, while they're going through the slaughterhouses. You know? Cows are alive for 7 minutes after their throats are slit. The turkey, baby. The turkey. I mean, there's that ass bread, by the way. Why do you open up the butt of a turkey and stuff it with bread and sew it up and then eat it after it's been baked? Ass bread. Just stop eating ass bread. Okay. So 2,000 turkeys are usually crammed on one truck. They're squoze together so tight. You know, they're grabbed by the legs and then they're thrown around when they get to the slaughterhouse. You know, millions of turkeys die of heat exhaustion, of freezing during the conditions of transportation, or from the accidents that happen. You know, they're very, very mean to the turkeys, throwing them around, and a lot of the turkeys just die just from the accidents. Turkeys are also dragged through a stunning tank to immobilize them, before their necks are slit. Just not good. Some of the turkeys dodge the stunner and their necks are slit while they're still completely conscious. And then they're thrown into a boiler to defeather them. Can you understand what it's like for us? Okay, a chicken. Chickens are so crammed into their cages that their feet grow around the bottoms of the cage. The cages are stacked on top of each other, and the chickens pretty much just like poop on each other and pee on each other. And it's done to the ammonia. Once again, their conditions are just so raunchy and just so awful that, they pass out. I mean, could you deal with the stench of your poop and pee fermenting so much as well as others to the point where there's so much ammonia that you just can't even breathe? Can you? Stop eating my embryos! Stop eating my babies! Stop eating my children, okay? Don't you understand? They're embryos. They're meant to grow. You salt and pepper the embryo eggs that I lay and you call it an omelet? How do you feel about what it's like for us? So as a chicken saying to a human, how would you like it if you were constantly impregnated over and over and over again, and then your babies were taken away from you, and then they were considered food to be eaten? Would you like that? Can you see what it's like for, the chickens? Lots of chickens die because they're being tossed around and manhandled so cruelly. Their beaks break, their wings break, their feet break, and this is sometimes even before they even get to the slaughterhouse as well as at the slaughterhouse. Chickens struggle to escape. They're always vomiting and defecate on the workers who try to shackle their feet and hang them upside down. Chickens, they're completely conscious when their throats are slit. Don't go looking at me as your last resort for animal flesh. And by the way, why do some of you still call yourselves vegetarian while eating my fish tribe? We are not sea vegetables. We are not sea plants. We don't grow like plants. Hello, human people. Why do some of you go back and forth and contradict yourselves this way? You want the good name of being a vegetarian, but you think that eating a dead fish is still acceptable? Just because we live in the ocean and we're not land animals does not make us separate from animal cruelty, and it does not make us vegetables either. Aquafarming. More than 40% of the fishes that are eaten by humans are grown in aquafarms. Fish spend their whole lives in these dirty, cramped enclosures. They suffer from parasite infection, they suffer from diseases and debilitating, accidents and injuries. And as the fisheries and the oceans are becoming exhausted, the aquafarming industry is growing 3 times faster than the land agriculture animal food product industry. Fish are meant to navigate the vast wide seas, and when they're put into these cramped conditions, they go neurotic and they go crazy. Can you please eat a salad instead? There's about 50,000 fish to each enclosure in these aquafarms. That's too many. The fish in the aquafarms are fed dead fish from the exhausted oceans. It takes about 5 pounds of fish from the ocean, the exhausted fish, to make 1 pound of fish that's grown in an aquafarm. And fish are natural plant eaters. The rabbits, they're grown and bred for their fur, for their skin, for animal testing, for food, for Easter, entertainment. In animal testing, you don't need me, the rabbit. I don't wear makeup. You humans wear makeup. I don't use your toiletries. Why? My biochemistry is completely different than your biochemistry, humans. You don't need to test on me. Why test your cosmetics on us rabbits, okay? You know, rabbit's fur is ripped off of the rabbit alive. 241,000 rabbits are killed in U.S. laboratories every year. Rabbits are seen as gifts for Easter. Rabbits are seen as props for photo shoots. Rabbits are forced to perform in magic shows, and then after that they're discarded, like they don't even matter, or that they're killed. Rabbits are also bred for food. Can you just please think about this and stop it? Yes, we are insects, and we have lives too. Stop feeding us sugar and taking our honey. Actually, it ought to be the other way around. You eat the sugar and let us have our honey. After all, we are the ones who are making it. Hey humans, do you know that you're eating our vomit? Us bees have regurgitated? Hey humans, do you also know that when you're eating royal jelly, you're eating blended up bee maggots? Oh humans, why do you do this to yourselves and to all of our species? Let us have our own lives. It takes about us to visit 10,000 flowers to make 1 teaspoon of honey. Can you please just think about us and let us have our own food that we make for ourselves? You have so many other things to choose from in the plant kingdom. Vegan, vegan. Bees are forced to live in these file cabinets, which is completely the opposite and completely different from their geometric structure of their personal hive. And this messes with them, because that hive is their natural geometric environment. And it is in accordance with the natural laws and with the way that they choose to create honey and their whole structure and the whole living of the bees. Queen bees are artificially inseminated by drone bees, and then the drone bees are killed afterwards, treated like they're useless and priceless. Go eat some dates, okay? I'm a bee, I'm an insect, and I choose and deserve to have my own life, unhampered by humans. Thank you. And me, I'm the dragon. And you don't see me as food. So I'm going to step out and step up and speak up for my animal tribe and family. Can you understand the animals' perspectives of what they go through, of the suffering that they have to endure 24/7, 7 days a week? 6 million animals getting slaughtered every 20 minutes. Can you imagine what it would be like for humans? That probably wouldn't be tolerated. If those animals were able to speak up and have a voice, it would totally be seen as different. They would speak up for themselves and choose their own lives. Instead, they're seen as silent, even though they kick and scream and fight for their lives, because they want to live, because they deserve to live, because that's the natural instinct of life, to want to live, and it'd just be nice if they could just choose their own lives. I can speak up for them, though. You don't see me, the dragon, as food. They are. We are. Living sentient beings who have a right to choose our own lives and not to be automatically deemed as food, as clothing, as entertainment, as something that's not even ours. To be treated poorly with no choice to live. They have feelings too. You have feelings too. Even though we may be different, us animals and the humans, we have a common thread, and that's how we feel, and that we're sensitive and sentient, and that we feel. Can you at least feel for your animal friends? This is the dragon speaking. Be well. Go vegan. Have some clarity and go vegan and have some clarity.